Welcome back, everyone, ladies, gentlemen, and my non-binary friends. My name is Carlos Rodriguez, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka your nerd today, and I am joined by my co-host here, Frank. How are you, Frank?
What's up, dude? It's April 30th, man.
Yeah, we're doing it, man. This is the
We're
day.
doing it, man. This is the day we met.
This is the day.
Shout out to whoever understands that reference and why I'm
Yeah.
wearing a bandana on April 30th. I'm not going
You-
to tell you why, but
you
you,
get a
if you know,
special-
you know.
Comment down below. You get a special gold star. But this is different. You might see some new things. You might see a new logo around. I'm trying to see where my camera is. Right here, where I'm pointing.
Over there.
Because this is a brand new show. We are in year 5 of Point in Progress. We missed the day specifically by like 3 months. It's fine. It's okay. Our lives have been crazy. But yeah, we have new logos. You can see it on our socials. We launched a Patreon, which is right now there's no ad or money thing we're doing, or special features, just more of a community thing. You support us, check us out. We'll post like our random thoughts, and like we'll post trailers of what we're doing, and tease upcoming things there. But that kind of be like a message board almost, just for everyone to see. Maybe one day we'll use it for monetary gain, but for now it's just, hey, this is what we're doing at PiP. Hey, we missed you guys. How are you?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our brand new show. It's called Checkpoint, The Checkpoint. I came up with it because I think it was sometime last year, maybe around Game Awards, we were talking, and I was like, I think we all kind of missed just discussing or doing a platform. Because at the time it was just us doing DC Graduates, which we love. That should be coming back soon. We got to start ramping up and do some videos for that. But we wanted to, if we had something interesting, we wanted to talk about, and it's so difficult with all of us having real people jobs now. I came up with the idea of like repurposing you guys doing the checkpoints when you guys would do the podcast. I was like, hey, why don't we just bring that back, but like as its own little thing? And it could be, if he wants to do 2 hours on why Jane Austen is amazing, go for it. If she wants a guest, one of us can jump in, Sly can jump in, I can jump in, we could talk about it. But if Sly wants to talk about why Storygraph is amazing and you should be on this like reading social media thing that we're all are, and like tracking our books and stuff, and they want to talk about it for like 15 minutes, that's what this is. This is Checkpoint is literally us just rambling, doing whatever we want, when we want it, as we want it, and like that. We're not beholden to a schedule. We have to meet every week. We're just, hey, I want to talk about something. You free? Yeah. All right, cool. Like we're doing today.
Mhm.
Today's a prime example for the first episode. So do not expect these episodes to be very frequent or weekly. Who knows, man? There has been a lot of stuff happening in the world of gaming, entertainment, and in general that we could talk about. Xboxes, the highs and lows have been high and lowing. That company,
Oh, yeah.
maybe. I feel like there's a checkpoint down the line. We're going to talk about that. And the new CEO.
There's so much. There's
Yeah.
so much to rant about. I want to. Every day I wake up, I see the
Yeah.
gaming news, and I scream at the sky like an old man. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, woe is me.
And
But
that's
yeah,
what the checkpoint's going to be. That's
we
what
gotta
this is
talk
going to
about
be, man. We're either one of us or all of us or just, 2 of us, whatever many it's going to be. We'll get on a mic, talk about it, and share it to you lovely people. But as I mentioned, that's the checkpoint. We have some other stuff we'll tease at the end of the episode. We are here in our very first episode, Frank. I hit you up because you woke up to some amazing news
Mhm.
and a lot of rants from me and Mario. The Resident Evil trailer premiered today. Zach Cregger's Resident Evil. Now, if you don't know who Zach Cregger is, everyone out there watching us, Zach Cregger is from a comedy troupe from back in the day called The Whitest Kids You Know. You may have seen him, IFC. Amazing television series, amazing comedy troupe. I've seen some of the skits. It is interesting, the landscape of comedy back in 2005 to 2009 to where we're at 2026. Not too much
honestly,
has changed.
You said whitest kids you know. The first thing I thought of was the glory hole fucking skit.
That one,
like, get out of the glory hole.
That one.
I just have one more minute. No, get out of the glory hole.
Get out. And as well, the clip resurfaced around Oscar season because one of his movies was nominated for a couple Oscars and won for Best Supporting Actress. But the Abraham Lincoln skit with John Wilkes, why John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln.
Now you fucked up. Now you
Yeah.
fucked up.
And that person right there is directing a Resident Evil movie, and that we're gonna watch the trailer. We both have seen it beforehand. This is gonna be my
Yes.
third or fourth time, but we're gonna share it with everyone here. Frank, have you seen Zach's other movies? Have you seen like Miss March? Weapons?
No.
Have you seen?
I haven't seen Weapons, but I have seen Barbarian. We actually, as PiP, we sat down one night. I don't remember when, but at some point we did, and I think it was Mario. I don't know if Mario was there. Mario might have been there. I'm pretty sure Mario was there.
That seems
I know
like
Fee was
Mario
there. I know Harv was there. But we also sat down and watched Barbarian, and I thought it was great. I thought it was a great movie. I like the twists. I like the turns.
Yeah.
The one thing I didn't think of was like people were like, man, this is like the craziest movie of the season. Like, this is insane. I was like, it's all right. I thought everything in it was great. Yeah. I just didn't think it was like the craziest thing in the world, especially the twist. I was like, but like, I liked it. It's cool.
I think the structure of it is what threw me off and what surprised me the most with that film. Like the
false
creepiness
intro. Yeah.
The false intro, the initial creepiness, having Bill Skarsgård being a character you're like worried about because of his past and other horror media, being Pennywise in general, you know. And then like the twist that you get, like the twists are not like, oh my god, like M. Night Shyamalan back in the day, oh my god, I cannot believe this is happening, but more like, oh wow, this is crazy. And then you get like a second to readjust, and then you get some more craziness. I think the shining light in that movie, and this is going to sound weird because of the character I'm going to talk about, is Justin Long in that film.
Oh yeah,
he is by far just a despicable person, and it's so great to see such a charming, likable character actor play someone so despicable, so despised.
It's like Michael Cera in This Is the End, I think it's called.
Yeah, This Is the End. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like hearing somebody who's like, who usually plays like a nice character or like kind of more of a timid character, just like be an asshole is great. And I love that they did that with Justin Long, because at first you're very much like, man, I kind of want. I feel like this character. There's no way this is our protagonist, right? Like he's got something. It's got to be a scandal. He's got to be misunderstood. You're almost kind of hoping that this is just like, oh yeah, no, he's just caught in some bullshit he'll get out of, right?
Yeah.
And then it's slowly throughout the movie you realize, oh no, this is probably true. This guy really is a piece of.
Yeah, he really. It's so good.
Nice to see him get his final comeuppance once you finally realize how much of a piece of shit he is.
Oh my god!
Like, yeah, dude. Like, fuck him.
Yeah,
fuck him.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm so high on the movie too. And it's so funny because of how good Barbarian is. I think maybe Mario might have been the one who mentioned it on social media, or maybe been somebody else like in like IGN or something like that. But like, it's not his first movie. It just feels like his first movie because Miss March is. It is what it is. It's a very fun, raunchy comedy from back in the day, you know, like
something you would expect from The Whitest Kids You Know to make,
and
or somebody who was part of that team.
Does not feel like that.
Oh yeah,
like, oh okay. And it's
I'll keep it a buck with you. I didn't realize The Whitest Kids You Know, he was from Whitest Kids You Know until you just told me right now. I didn't look that far into it.
Yeah, man. I remember, because I remember the name. I'm like, why does that sound familiar? I think a lot more people know or more familiar with Trevor Moore. Like
exactly,
that name,
yeah.
You know,
that's the name I immediately think. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately his untimely passing as well. Weapons though, Frank, you gotta check it out. You gotta let me know what you think, because I'm a big fan of that.
I've sat down so many times and tried, because it's like I've said this many times when it comes to movies here on PiP, is that I have ADHD brain, man. I have to, if I watch something, I usually have it in the background of something else while I'm playing like a video game or something, like while I'm playing Zomboid or something like I don't have to really pay attention to, but I can have like two things on in the background. The problem with that movie is I guarantee you have to pay attention to it the whole time. And if I have to pay attention to it the whole time and give it to my full attention, I want to sit there and do it. And it's very hard for me to find time to do just one thing for 2 hours straight. Unless I'm in a movie theater. Which is my excuse to go to the movie theater.
Funny enough, that's Tara as well. Yeah, with her ADHD, like she constantly wants to like do something else. Like she'll sit like it has to be something she absolutely loves. Like The Pit, she'll sit there and just consume all of it if we had to. Like we still have to watch most of season 2. We have like a good chunk of it to finish. And she would sit there if I told her, "Hey, we're staying up late. We're gonna watch it all." She's like, "Yeah, I'm down." But like something else, like a movie that maybe she's not 100% invested in, she's gonna go in and out, you know. Like,
oh yeah, no,
the little
I
shiny
understand
butterfly is
that.
gonna come out of nowhere, and it's fine. That's just not her bag. She did pay attention a lot during this movie. I fully expected her to read her book and or fall asleep, and she will pop in and, well, what's going on right now? And I would just like catch her up and stuff. That is a movie I would say though, as someone who's watched it a couple times now, it is you kind of do have to pay attention because it does this incredible thing that I think someone like you, Frank, you should know going into it, that it shows the story from a couple different perspectives, but you'll see the same scene play out differently because you're seeing it through their set of eyes now.
Got it.
So like
Yeah.
it's shot differently, like a hug for between two characters is now like a long,
You'll
like
see
a
it from
long
like a
embrace.
different.
Yeah, it's like a longer embrace, like, and maybe a little more flirtatious than it was when you saw it with the one character. Like it's really interesting to watch. It's a little jarring, I think, if you just watch it for the first time. You're like, wait, that's not how the scene played out. And then you know, once you get through, you're like, oh shit. But I was shocked when I would assume Zach Cregger would be like, all right, man, I'm gonna just do another original film. It's going right into like not big budget, but like he's going to like a known IP. One
Oh yeah,
that's been
he got money
dormant
for
a
this
while.
one, or
Yeah,
had to at least, right? Like,
I would assume this might be his like
yeah,
highest budget, you know.
or maybe we're looking at it in a different light too, because maybe Capcom was just like, look, Resident Evil's been kind of dormant for a little bit. Can we?
Yeah.
You're pretty good at doing big things with small budgets, right? How about we give you X amount of sum of money, which isn't like crazy buku bucks. We're not. He's not fucking Christopher Nolan. He's not making like Tenet or anything like that. But like enough money to make like a Barbarian times 2, I would say, and like in terms of budget. And that's probably where Capcom is right now, because otherwise they just be licensing their shit out like crazy.
True, I mean? That is true.
Where's my Devil May Cry movie?
Film. Well, you got a hit TV show, Frank, that I'm sure you've never talked about online.
That I still scream at the skies for. I'm just like, I just gotta realize that, like, hey, dude, I'm just not gonna watch it. I don't care.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, Splinter Cell though, at least.
Hey, Splinter Cell wasn't bad.
I gotta watch it, but I heard it was good.
It wasn't bad. You know what I mean? It was serviceable. And that's all I really ask for with adaptations nowadays, is just give me at least serviceable, man. And we'll talk about that with this one.
Yeah,
exactly. I have opinions.
Yeah, so we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna watch the trailer here. This is starring Austin Abrams, I believe is the actor's name. He's in Weapons. And immediately, this is the funny thing with me, and we can kind of talk a little more about it after the trailer. I assumed he was playing a named character. He's not, which is better, because if you watch Weapons, I'm like, that dude's gonna have to bulk up. There's no way he's a crackhead in that movie, and he lost weight for that for Weapons. He looks like a crackhead. Like, I'm very glad he looks like a normal person in this one, so that's good. But without further ado, we're gonna watch this. Funny enough, the first trailer that popped up earlier before, like, I think Sony Pictures was PlayStation's. So,
oh really?
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Hello? I had a little bit of a problem on the road. I was wondering if I could use your phone. Hello?
Constantine Films, man.
See, I like normal looking houses like this in horror, by the way.
I agree.
Like, that's what makes 7 so good, is like the house is so country normal, but also eerily creepy.
Yeah, it's off-putting, right? Like,
the dial tones and everything like that. I love that. Like, that's the creepiest shit to hear in the middle of the night when there's no sound.
Some things have happened.
Also, I keep seeing that, like, medical satchel, and I keep thinking about, like, Rebecca.
Oh yeah, it's interesting because it looks kind of like hers too,
like a Stars one.
And it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other again.
I'm interested about this specifically. Like, what is this?
I don't know. It looks like a fat Mr. X. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to know.
Yeah, so September 18th, man. Yeah, so we
September.
I'm gonna loop that and mute it while we kind of discuss over it. But yeah, that is it, man. That's Austin Abrams. It's really hard to tell. At least I haven't seen like a clear screenshot. Like what it looks like he works for some kind of medical supply or maybe some hospital because it's on his jacket, but it's hard to tell like where specifically. So Frank, you wanted to shout some things out, and I think that's why I kind of this is what Checkpoint is, right? So let's talk about it. What do you want to point out?
So first things first, the backpack he's wearing is very like I think if I remember correctly, Rebecca Chambers is like has these like things around. There is one in the RPD where it's like a satchel backpack with the old school medical plus sign and everything like that, which is a nice touch. I think those are very actually. You know what is his? What is his? You can see his vest right there. He has. It looks like it's if he does work for like the medical field, that would be like the hospital, but it's very blurry. I can't really see it.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Yeah.
But maybe he's like transporting organs or sending something out there into what I'm guessing. And I know people are talking about very often on this thing. The first thing I'm seeing everybody talk about is why the fuck is there snow? And I personally think, in my opinion, that the logical explanation would be that some of this takes place in the Arclay Mountains. And as we know, mountainous territory, weather is very sporadic, and depending on how high he is in the mountains compared to Raccoon City, this could start higher up in the Arclay Mountains, and he works his way to Raccoon City because they already did confirm that this takes place in Raccoon City during RE2. That would be the logical explanation.
Yeah.
Right. The most probable answer is that the director just forgot the shit takes place in October because I don't think anybody really knows that the shit takes place in October. It's like snow looks good with zombies.
Which it does. I've watched Dead Snow, the Finnish. I think it's from Finland. That movie. Yeah, it looks incredible, and I love the set piece of snow and horror. Like we don't get too many of them. You know, we always want like a Jason or like something like that would be perfect in this environment. We have like Never Let Hike Alone, which is a fan film, but with this, like, I agree because that was the first thing that threw me off too. And I remember seeing snow as well in the leaked set videos of Raccoon City. And I remember being like seeing that, and I was like, oh, that's like that's cool. And then it'd be like, oh, it's Raccoon City. I'm like, when? When? And then it was like, oh, well, you're doing your own thing. And then him in interviews being like, oh, this is like taking place during the events of Resident Evil 2 or like a little before. Like that's happening. He's not near the RPD. That's like on the other side of town. He's like in the beginnings of like Raccoon City. And then it's like, wait a minute, though. It is October. Like we talked about this earlier in our group chat with Mario and IGN's Kevin Diaz, where we were like, hold on. Because it's immediately, if he didn't harp on it in interviews, it'd be like, wait, what are you doing then?
Yeah.
But if you watch the IGN developer commentary, I'll have that link down below. He does talk about like this is like his version of it, basically. So in this universe, I think I described it in our text chat that Resident Evil 2 is happening. It just happens to be winter time or like late fall, like late enough fall where it's about to be winter instead of like early October. And like so it happens to be snow. Resident Evil 2 is about to happen on the other side of town. Resident Evil 3 is probably already happening as well at this point because all that's connected. So that's all happening as this dude is doing whatever with what's in the satchel. Again, this is just a teaser, not a full-blown trailer. This is trying to give us like the vibe and feel of what's about to happen. And I mean, I'm sold. I'm sold on name alone on both A, the IP, and B, Zach Cregger. So I'm in a very like I think a minority where I'm like I'm down, and you talked about it earlier too in our text chat. Like I kind of want just the vibe of it. I'm cool with just the vibe of it. We've talked, I haven't seen Welcome to Raccoon City. I do plan on seeing. I've totally forgot that even came out. That stuck so close to the games. I remember a lot of people not really digging it, and now we have the Mila Jovovich, 6 movies that she did.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, we're not going to stay close to the games. But then we are though. We're gonna have the nemesis. And monster wise, I think was whatever. I don't care about like seeing a nemesis, seeing a liquor, seeing T virus on me, seeing a G virus on me, but then having here's Birkin, here's Jill, here's Carlos, here's Leon, here's this
here's the greatest hits, but you don't know, you're just meeting these guys in a random helicopter one day.
Yeah, here's Wesker, he's gonna be the big bad for the whole movie series as well. It's like, okay, but now I'm tying my brain to the lore that's already set up, and you're doing so many remixing that it's hard. It was hard with those 6 films. Like, I do really enjoy 1, and it's like diminishing returns as the series goes.
Films. It's very hard. I feel like you have to. It's almost like it's almost kind of like Fast and Furious, because we can't really sit here and say that the Fast and Furious films are good films, but we're invested in them to the point where like we kind of just want to know what happens next, and we're kind of invested more in these characters themselves than the like whatever they're trying to do like with cars and stuff like that. And I feel like that kind of blends into like the OG Resident Evil movies too, and even to that extent the X-Men movies, right? Because those don't really have shit else to do with the comics for the most part. They're really just like, we're gonna throw these like highlight characters in there and just give them like 5 minutes or 6 minutes of screen time, and then just kind of go through all these characters really quick, right? But like you just kind of have to be invested in it, and I wasn't really invested in Resident Evil. Like, I like the first few. I think once we start getting into like apocalyptic territory, that's when I was just like, I checked out, because I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, what are we gonna do now? Like, at this point.
Exactly, right? But like I eventually got into Fast and Furious, so I could see people getting into Resident Evil, like the OG ones like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like this, I don't know. Like I do appreciate there is nods to the games, other than the satchel being a thing. Like this zombie right here that comes up with like through the door, that never happens. Which makes me think hallucination, but I'm like, it depends. I don't know.
It could be their version of like a Rat King, like a zombie Rat King, a la like
exactly
Last
like a
of Us
hive
did it
mind or
recently.
something.
Yeah.
Like it looks like sometimes the zombies are running. Also, like if you look at the ones on the rooftop, I can't tell if those are like a special infected or if those are regular people.
Yeah.
But they look like they're running along the rooftop, like following him, and I'm like,
it's this early in the story. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is a little weird, but now, of course, I mean, some spoilers for Resident Evil Requiem. It could be like a mutated T virus that we have that Victor has in that game, where like they hold some semblance of themselves. They shamble a bit, but like that fucking kitchen zombie, I fought so many goddamn times and ran away from him.
Giant Russian kitchen zombie.
Yeah, God, I hate him.
But like, I could see it. I see this like the beginning of this movie being more of just like in those Arclay Mountains, because like I had mentioned in our group chat, there are labs out there. Umbrella had labs in those mountains and stuff like that. Spencer being one of them. The I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but that Executive Institute or something like that I posted there was another one where Rebecca Chambers went 2 and 0. So there's labs out there. So it's possible that the infected that we're seeing in this movie could just be infected that like are made up, because like they're doing experiments out there. Anything's fucking possible if this takes place in those Arclay Mountains, which, if we're talking about a big city, this guy's literally walking around in a snowy tundra. Look how far and vast that snow is. Like, that's in the countryside somewhere. So depending on where we are, we don't even know where we are. He's probably making his way to Raccoon City.
That's true,
yeah. But like, I don't know, it looks cool. I read a little bit about it. I saw the director was talking about like, oh, we're gonna show like the progression of like a character in something like this. Like he'll start with like probably like a pistol and then work his way up, because I do see that he has a different weapon. In this scene, for example, I think he has more. It looks like a MP5.
Yeah.
So he had a shotgun in one scene. He has an MP5 in the other one. So you're probably going to see that progression there, which I think is kind of cool. I think that's a good idea. I feel like that idea, though, just feels very like, this is what gamers would want, right? Like to see game progression. And like, I don't know if that's the idea behind it. I hope it's not just like, over here, he's holding a pistol, I think. Looks like he's holding a pistol.
Yeah, he said in the commentary, he's starting at this point in the film, he does have a pistol. I don't know. I mean, we don't know how he got it. But
Stole
yeah,
it
he
off
does
this
have
old
a
lady's house.
dude,
This old
might,
lady was
yeah.
blicked up.
When you live out there, yeah, man, you gotta be blicked up, man.
Yeah, exactly,
You got them
exactly.
bears and random ass dogs now that
Fucking zombie bears now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and those zombie dogs, dude, those zombie dogs are wild.
Listen, if this is let's say this is November, like mid-November, it just happens to be a really cold. Like he just moved the timeline ever so slightly. It's November. What? Resident Evil 1 happened like 6 months, like 5 to 6 months before this. Dude, those dogs, there's
like
some
4
dogs got
months,
out.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying too. Like what happens in RE1 is like 3 months ago. You're telling me 100% Umbrella cleaned all that shit up, which is possible, by the way. Maybe they did do a really good cover up job, but like nothing leaked out. Like in the mountains, right? Like I understand not in the city. Well, the city eventually got their comeuppance, but like I can understand it not bleeding into the city. And I think if I remember correctly, the Spencer Mansion's like 8 miles, 10 miles, something like that away
it's not
from
too
the city.
far from the city. Yeah.
It's not too far from the city. So I can imagine some of that bleed over, and like there's still some shit in the woods. Like they're in the woods, they're in the trees, motherfucker. Like something's got to be out there, right?
Isn't that technically what happens in Resident Evil 3 and 2? Like, dude, like something got out and so it's still not cleaned up enough that like it's
2 was Birkin. 2 was Birkin. Birkin leaking
right,
the virus in the city.
So
I think like
2 and 3, yeah, because it's happening the same day.
Yeah, I think like it because Jill was kind of trying to for the events of 3, Jill was kind of trying to like expose Umbrella, and so was Chris. Chris fake went on a vacation and left the country and went to go like explore in Europe. That's where like Code Veronica comes in and everything like that.
Yeah.
But like Jill was like, other than like the Resident Evil 3, the game, the remake that nobody likes, she has like PTSD and she's trying to like uncover shit. Yeah. I think in the original she was just trying to be like, hey, you know, I want to uncover, like we got to get Umbrella, you know what I mean? Like we got to do something about this. We can't just sit idle. And that's why, like, I believe that's why Nemesis was even sent out in the first place, because like we had to kill stars. We had to kill all the remaining stars member to cover this shit up. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones who know what really happened. Yeah, they know what really happened over there.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. And he's talked. Cregger mentions like this section as well. We talked about the guns, but he does mention scrounging, kind of going through that as he's making his way closer and closer to the city. He does mention that he doesn't. I don't know if obviously we're gonna see what's in that package, but I don't think the character. I don't know if we got a name for him in like a breakdown or anything. But Austin Abrams' character, I don't think he knows initially what he's delivering, which is like what's going to be the sample. It could be the G virus, it could be the T virus. Yeah, we don't know, but
it could be a platinum chip.
It could be a red ruby that you have to open a special fucking door. You know,
it's an actual fucking puzzle. It's an Umbrella puzzle.
It's what Leon needs to finish like the fucking RPD puzzle. That's it. That's how he got it. That's what this is. But it's gonna be interesting to see like what ties into, because I know at least in interviews as well before the director's commentary and this teaser came out, Zach Cregger's mentioned that he's a fan of the games, and that he is worried about fans' reactions, specifically after like the Mila Jovovich movies and stuff. Like he is afraid, because this is also a great departure, right? And I think for many people, myself included, I'm okay with this departure. Because again, we stuck in a weird limbo with the Resident Evil movies where they told us that, hey, it's not gonna be a Chris and Leon and all this other stuff, and then it's like, hey, here's Chris and Leon and Wesker and Claire, Carlos and Jill, you know, and Sherry Birkin. I was like,
the only thing I don't want this movie to do, don't do that. Don't, if you're gonna go, hey, we're not doing mainstream character shit, don't have a scene where I see Leon in the background running into RPD. Don't have a scene where I see the other side of the fucking oil container blow up where Leon and Claire meet. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any of that shit. Don't be nostalgia heavy on it, because then I'm just gonna roll my eyes. Like,
or do something
at that point we could have had that movie instead.
Yeah, maybe hear Marvin, right? Maybe hear Marvin on the radio. Like,
Yeah,
that's it. Like, I don't want to see Marvin. I don't want to see Leon. I don't want to see these people. But maybe you hear, oh man, they're overrunning RPD. And you just hear Marvin get bit. So we know, like, oh shit, that's Marvin. That's crazy, and that's enough. Like, I don't want to see Leon. What's it going to be like? The end of Reach, where you get into the thing, you look to your left,
you see Master Chief. Like, I know, I just want Master Chief. Stop.
Like, I was cool with you not showing me Master Chief. This is a great game, a good swan song for Bungie. Why did you show me him? Like,
I better not see Nemesis. I better not see any of that shit. Like, if you want to stay original, keep it original. Don't hit me too hard with the nostalgia. Like, I personally, in the trailer, I can't spot a lot of like moments. You know what I mean? Which I'm okay with. I'm kind of okay with, because if you're gonna do something original, go full balls original then. If you're going to do something that like respects the original and wants to be the original, then go ahead and do that. But don't do both, because that's the recipe for a bad just anything, right? It's when they take too much of what you love and twist it into something that isn't what you love. Like the Netflix show. Like, the Netflix show does a horrible job at being like, these are all the moments that you gamers want, right? Right? Oh, what do you mean we did it wrong? What do you mean? Like, if you don't understand why people love something, don't put it in your fucking media. That's just that's the easiest way to do it. Like, if you don't know why people love Resident Evil, do the easiest thing you can possibly do, which is try to make it original. But I think what this has the edge over other people trying to do Resident Evil is that this is going far into the Resident Evil 7-esque like horror route.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not trying to be like Leon fucking parrying rocket launchers and driving on a motorcycle. You know what I mean? Because like, we had those movies and people were like, why are you doing that? And it's like, well, they did it in a way that I don't think they understand why it works in Requiem, but it doesn't work in, let's say, Resident Evil Apocalypse. I don't know which one he was in. He was in one of them. But
I don't remember.
You know what I mean? Like, there's reasons why it works in one and doesn't work in the other, because one understands why that shit's cool and the other one is just doing it because it thinks that shit's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's also, it learned from its mistakes, right? Like, it learned from Resident Evil 6. So when you get to Requiem, you get all the great stuff that's super scary. And then it's like, hey, you want a little break in the tension? Here's Leon. It's like, oh,
exactly.
Cool. I can unclench my butthole. Like, I could just.
And that's why characters like Ethan work. Like,
exactly.
Ethan in RE7 works as a protagonist, and this is gonna be the film version of, I'm guessing, Ethan. Right?
Like, I think this is going to be like an equivalent of Ethan. More so Ethan too, because I was going to mention Grace, but she is an FBI agent in that, in Requiem,
she's already kind of trained. Like, Ethan is just a tech guy from fucking wherever the hell he's from. He just went to Louisiana to go save his wife. He's like, my wife gone. My wife gone to go save.
I'll take her back no matter what, even though she lied to me and she was a secret agent. What? Hold on. It's like, do you know Ada Wong too?
Yeah.
But like,
probably. They never explained that shit either, which pisses me off.
Well, we're going to talk about it down the line. Don't worry. This is going to be a special show. We'll be talking about all those little things. I think what Zach is doing here is great, because he understands that, especially early games, right? Like, why do we love Resident Evil 2 so much? It is Leon, as a rookie cop, just a cop. Like, there's a little training there because he passed like, all like the officer training and stuff, but like, he is just a police officer and he's thrown into a rookie mess, right?
His first fucking day.
So that, we love that, right? We love Ethan being like a normal dude and be like, oh my God, this shit is crazy. And then you get to like Resident Evil 8 and you're like, oh, he's a little more prepared because he went through a lot of shit. And then same thing with Grace. Like, even though it is awesome that she's an FBI, but she is an analyst, not that saying she's not trained, but there's training there. But by the end of Requiem, if you give me like a solo Grace game, like in 10 or 11, yeah, I'm down, because she's going to be a badass. She went through all this shit, but we saw her earn it. Like, I don't know if this character is going to make it by the end of the film, but if he does,
I want to talk about that, because I think Gene Park actually said it the best on Twitter, is that if this if this movie ends in this character dying or like being sacrificial or any kind of that shit like that, then he missed the whole point of what Resident Evil is about. Yeah. Like, Resident Evil is about persevering, getting through, and fucking surviving. Exactly. And if this guy doesn't survive and become a total badass by the end of this, movie, then that you missed the point of Resident Evil, brother. Like, that's not Resident Evil, King.
Yeah, because it is like you're hitting all the nostalgia points. You're telling us the right things, right? Here's Raccoon City. It's not interacting directly with what's going on with Jill and Leon and Claire, but it is like on the other side of town. So you know for a fact that yes, there is this giant nemesis going after Jill. Yes, you know that an oil tanker blew up and like RPD's being overwhelmed and all this other shit. But at the same time, this dude's like, I'm just trying to make it, right? I'm just trying to go from point A, point B, and the city is crumbling around me for some reason. And I think that gives us an interesting opportunity, especially after what this actor did in Weapons, seeing the character he's playing, seeing the predicament he's in this specific film. I was like, oh, all right. Because I mentioned this before we watched the trailer, like, I assumed he was playing a name character until we got confirmation to like, no name characters. It's just, hey, it's just this dude doing his job, and this shit's going crazy around him. I was like, oh, okay. So I thought this character, I was like, oh, this actor is going to do a good job here, and it's showing so far. Like the little teaser that we got there, we're all watching, seems really fun. Seems like it's going to be really cool to see him play off of that, kind of do a little of the funny kind of, oh my god, because he's very comedic in Weapons. But it'd really be cool to see him progress, and hopefully, by the end of it, you get another film. Maybe you get him in like, Resident Evil 4's timeline. So for a fact that, all right, something's happening over in Spain, but like this dude's vacationing in Europe, and like Las Plagas is somehow around. He just the world at this point after this film, and is set in a world that's kind of basically Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil, what we see is for irreparably changed from this moment on. Like from this day and the 24 hours after, and Raccoon City being destroyed, literally change everything in the world, right? And that's the most interesting thing that the Paul W.S. Anderson movies did not really get to explore, is like, and the games do a great job, the geopolitical nature of having bioweapons, and like a world where like, yeah, dude, like there's a Carlos in that universe that has to go to work, has to sit down at his job, but at the same time knows that in Raccoon City there's a giant fucking spider for some goddamn reason. And like, I live in a world that's also real. Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's the world of Resident Evil.
Bioweapons are now a thing. Like there is no. Well, that's just crazy because there's people like very early on, I believe, in like some of the lore that still don't even believe that this shit's happening. No. But then like when we hit like, I want to say Resident Evil 5. Because 4, I think the bioweapon shit's still kind of low key. I could be wrong on that, but like I think they're still trying to like, because keep in mind, Raccoon City was nuked. You know what I mean? Like you can cover it up to the rest of the world a little bit easier. But once you start hitting like Resident Evil 5 levels of like, these are weapons that are actively now being sold to like warlords and shit like that. Like warlords have fucking tyrants and shit like that. Like there's a in Requiem, there's a like there's a menu if you towards the end of the game where you can see like buy some fucking infected dogs for $1 million and some change or something like that, or get a whole tyrant, get in Mr. X for like $50K or some shit like 50 million or something like that. Like at that point you can't ignore that there's bioweapons out there, because we're selling them like fucking Labubu's out here.
High commodity items.
You can't say the earth is flat when like literally it's fucking evidence right there. But, it like I guess early on they're just like, some of them were like, I don't know if these bioweapons are real. I don't believe in those bioweapons. They probably had an Alex Jones in their universe who was just like fucking screaming like, no, there ain't no bioweapons in the water. Water's turning everybody gay.
My brother's trying to turn you gay. That's what it is.
It's Raccoon City water. The water's turning them into zombies.
That's exactly what it is. And you know what's funny too?
Umbrella did nothing wrong.
Oh my god, yeah. And you got to think like the world, it gets to a fever pitch too at some point, right? Like even like the limited knowledge I have of Resident Evil 6, I didn't get to play it. We'll talk about that at the end of this. But the president gets shot live on air right before he's about to say something important. Like in the current political climate of 2026, where both sides are like, man, I don't trust shit that I watch on the news. You're telling me the president gets shot live on air right before he's about to say something, and then there just happens, there's coverage of zombies. Now we just had to talk. Now we had to rectify with the fact that like shit, like horror shit that people read about in books and watch movies about is real. You have to rectify that. You have to like.
Werewolves are real.
Yeah, there's dude. There's werewolves in this universe. Yeah,
like, werewolves in this. There's fucking vampires in this universe. Yeah. Now.
Like someone, like regular people have to deal with that. Like, and we don't. That's one of my favorite things in all of media in general, right? Like when you have these crazy ideas of like superheroes and things like that, like the MCU, we don't get to explore it too much, but like there's fucking aliens, bro. Like aliens attack New York, and like that changes everything. Like that's
it makes the universe feel bigger.
Yeah, and like I would love to see people really tackle the fact that like, hey man, I remember not being here for 5 years, and then next thing I know, my kids are 12. What the fuck happened? Like, in that universe, we kind of have some media where they talk about it and stuff like that. But that's the interesting thing about these supernatural or like superhero things like that. And that's what I love about Resident Evil. Like, the more you like, people know about this shit now, and like it's horrifying to understand.
It's a household name.
Yeah,
it's a household name at this point.
Yeah, and people honestly know about Umbrella.
That's what kind of like I'm two sides of the coin on this, right? Like on one side, I'm very just like, look, I'm gonna keep it a buck, and this comes as a lifelong Resident Evil fan. I love Resident Evil. I played all the games. You can check my Steam profile. I've played Resident Evil 1 so much that I have like almost 100. I got all the achievements in it. And if you know how hard it is to get all the achievements in Resident Evil 1, you know my fucking pain. I played that game 12 fucking times in a row, like under 3 hours every single time. I'm not a LARPer. I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Resident Evil. And I'm telling you right now, as a fan of that, the lore isn't that deep. The lore isn't that fucking...
No, that's the funny thing.
It's not. The lore, I could kind of understand. Personally, I don't think directors are even getting that far, that deep into the Resident Evil lore, because it is so easy, and we've seen this even with the Devil May Cry TV show, where it's so easy just to highlight things from the games and just write around what's cool instead of write around why that's cool or how we got to that cool. We just want to get to the cool quick. And that's kind of why Resident Evil 6 is kind of shitty, because it's like, let's get to the cool quick and not give any of like the cool survival horror stuff with it that's earned in something like a Resident Evil 4 game, where like you start very small, it's very horrific because you're as squishy as everybody else, and by the end of the game you're a walking fucking tank. But like I can see why Hollywood likes to do that, where it's like we don't really want to flesh out all this other shit that's in Resident Evil, because we have stuff like boulder punching, we have stuff like Wesker clones, and there's a fucking child out there there's a child out there who has telekinetic powers, who is inhabited by like a 60-year-old Wesker clone lady. We still haven't talked about that in Revelations. There's a bunch of ridiculous shit going on in this universe, and I can kind of and the lore doesn't even fucking respect itself sometimes in this universe. Like, let's be real here. When's the last time we've had anything lore heavy with characters in Resident Evil until Requiem? Zero. We had shit happen in Village. We had shit happen in Resident Evil 8. Sorry, Resident Evil 7. But like, the overall thing, you don't really learn much about the universe after that, because even they know the universe is kind of convoluted and kind of jumbled up right now. That's why the remakes are kind of starting to rewrite certain things, like kind of more streamlined a little bit. And I can kind of understand now going through and being like, okay, this is now our definitive timeline for Resident Evil, because even now Requiem is pulling from the remake, not Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We'll see how that goes. But I'm telling you right now, the lore is not that deep. On that flip side, I would love for them to just redo a Resident Evil movie and show people why people love Resident Evil. Yeah. Because the thing is, not everybody's going to play a game. No, I can't. I don't think I've unlocked the power to convince somebody to play something for 8 hours to get why I love it. Right. And that's just the way it is. And moviegoers are going to go see your IP. And when they see that it's dog shit, it kind of hurts at being a fan of something. Because then, like, you're like, hey, you talk about Devil May Cry all the time. You love Devil May Cry. That shit was ass. I'm like, okay, dude. Or like,
or they love it for the wrong reason. You know,
they love it for the wrong reasons. Yeah. Like, man, I feel so bad for Virgil being manipulated by Mundus like that, and it's like, that's not what's supposed to happen, though. Like, Virgil's a fucking badass. He's not. You can't just be manipulated. Like it's just it pisses me off. It pisses me off when you don't know the characters too much. But it only pisses me off because I know people are going to. They know the names. They've heard of Devil May Cry. They've heard of Resident Evil. They've heard of Uncharted. They've heard of like all these IPs. And while Hollywood just like, hey, let's get a quick buck out of this IP. I as a fan of those franchises, it kind of hurts because it's like, can we get some love? Can we finally get somebody who really wants some love? And I'm hoping by as much as this guy's talking about, and like I said, I've been burned by this kind of talk. That Devil May Cry director, he who shall not be named, said the same shit. Like, I'm not changing anything. It's going to be 1-to-1. It's going to be good. This guy's saying the same thing. I'm not changing shit, but it's going to take place here. And like, I'm going to follow his rules. And if he follows his own rules, we're good. Yeah. This is probably going to be a banger. Like, it's not going to be the best Resident Evil movie. It's not going to be the best adaptation, but it's going to be a good movie. That's all I ask for. If you're going to represent my favorite franchise, at least be good.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, another thing, too, with Zach, it's funny to think that, you know, creating your own original film and then doing a follow-up to that film with another original story in horror and where you're so sought after, you think that would be the biggest litmus test. And now I think establishing yourself as as a horror director and then going into this, I think this is his biggest test now, funny enough, especially in the day and age where like more and more people, you know, I agree with you. It's so there's just people who don't play games, and that's fine. That doesn't bemoan anything. Like, that's just not their form of entertainment. Some people just strictly read. Some people just watch television shows and not movies. You know, some people just watch anime and not like anything else. Like, you know, there's so many things out there that you can consume entertainment wise that it's fine. But like, it is difficult to get someone to be like, yo, like, watch me play all of Resident Evil 9. You know, watch me do this, watch me do that.
Yeah. Or like be like, hey, you read Invincible. Like, instead of watching TV show, read Invincible. It's like, it's not going to happen. They're going to watch the TV show.
Yeah. And that's fine. So if you can do something that like hits the beats, respects the lore, respects the universe, I think that's going to go a long way. And I think now that is the biggest litmus test for Zach Cregger, is not his original works, you know, the past two films, not even following up a film that was, you know, that had a best supporting actress win, you know, for a horror film at one of the best like villains that we've seen in a horror film in a long time. It's not even going to be the prequel about that character that's down the pipeline. It's this now, I feel like. And it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. Before we wrap up, Frank, is there anything that is something like, all right, give me two things that would break the movie for you and two things that would make you like seal of approval as a fan?
The one thing I was thinking about that would probably be a breaking thing, one, the dying thing. If the character dies, then you've missed the point of Resident Evil. Yeah. Like, it's not the point. Even if he dies sacrificially, I think you miss the point of Resident Evil if you do that. And the second thing too is it being too comedic. I worry very, very heavily in the beginning parts that we get like scenes where like he'll move like a fucking thing and then he'll like jerk it like, oh no, I thought it was a zombie. Then he turns around, there's a zombie. Like, I don't want shit. I don't want goofy shit, and I don't want the material to be made to look funny. You know what I mean? If you're gonna go horror, go horror. And this is the perfect opportunity to do straight up horror and it being horrifying. The character itself can be kind of nonchalant and funny at first when he's like, haha, there's no such thing. Oh shit, that's an actual zombie. Fuck. Like, I don't want it to be Shaun of the Dead levels funny. I just want it, you can have some humor in there, but don't make fun of it. You know, like this is not really, this shouldn't be a funny situation he's in. That's what would kill it for me. If we try to be too comedic in it, like we're taking the piss out of the material. I don't like that. That makes me think that you just don't care. Right. Yeah. But two things that would probably be like, this gets my seal of approval. Definitely keeping the horror element throughout the whole movie. I want this character to go through it. I want the whole time I'm thinking we're talking, I was thinking, man, I really kind of want Sam Raimi to do a Resident Evil movie.
Oh man.
And his kind of like, I'm going to fucking destroy the protagonist. The protagonist is not going to have an ounce, a second, a attosecond of peace from beginning to end. I want this character to suffer. And there's nobody who does it better than Sam Raimi. And honestly, that would, if this character goes through it throughout this whole movie, which every survivor has gone through some shit in Resident Evil. So if he gets through this, like, he's definitely not getting through this unscathed. I hope he doesn't. I hope he loses like a leg or something like that, right? He's
even
gonna
if
have
it's even if he's mentally scarred, like I'm something, man. I need something. Yeah.
I need something. But I want him to go through it. And if he goes through it through this film, you get an A+ for me. At that point, I don't care how much you reference RE1 and 2. Just as long as the protagonist gets to survive. Again, has to survive, but goes through the worst fucking day of his life and any other previous or past or future lives he's ever gonna have. That's how you do it. And obviously respect the material. You know what I mean? Again, that's my number one. Just as long as you respect the material, you're gonna get a seal up for me. That's why people are always confused when I'm like, Uncharted was a good movie, because Uncharted was a good movie. You may hate you can hate the shit out of Spider-Man's act. I can always Tom Holland. You can hate the shit out of it, and I still think to this day Bruce Campbell would have been a better choice for Sully. But overall, in terms of how much it respects Uncharted and how Uncharted works and why we love Uncharted, it was as close to a good adaptation as most of these adaptations get.
Yeah, it's really harmless. Like, honest to God, I think that's actually probably the worst part of the movie is that it's harmless. Like, it doesn't do anything crazy. You know,
it's not impactful. It's not going to change anything Uncharted lore, but it's there. It does the cool stuff you want from like an Uncharted game, and then it leaves. Sometimes it's all you need. I say this in our Game of the Year review for a certain game. It's like sometimes you don't need to change too much. Sometimes you just need to respect what came before, give it a fresh coat of paint, and just put it out. And sometimes that is serviceable. We don't need 10 out of 10 Game of the Year, fucking DICE Award Game of the Year winner. You know what I mean? Sometimes we just need something that is serviceable, that'll keep the fans kind of going. You know what I mean? Because if you try too hard, you're gonna bust. And this movie doesn't look like it's trying too hard, which is why I'm so like I know I'm a person of like I love accuracy, but at the same time I'm just like Resident Evil ain't that deep. Ain't like story wise, it ain't that deep. And I just kind of want to see what this guy has to offer here. You know what I mean? It isn't like the Netflix show where I immediately saw that I was just like, get away.
Even I was, and that was when we were talking earlier.
And I love Lance Reddick. We reference Lance Reddick all the time on this show. I'm like, what scared his Lance Reddick was so wrong.
Isn't it funny though? Like that, and it's not even him. It's just like this isn't. Like Wesker doesn't feel like it's right for you, not the other way around. Like, not that you're not right for Wesker. It's like I don't think the character Wesker is right for Lance Reddick. Like
I agree 100%.
You know, like Lance Reddick is the star. He's the dude that you're like, oh, he's gonna kill it. It's like he's playing Wesker. There's got to be someone else with a little more meat he could play. You know.
Like we could have found anybody. You could have made an original character. Like that's a perfect opportunity for original character right there, and just throw Lance Reddick in that role. And then fuck, man, I guarantee he'll be in the games afterward. But actually seeing how that show went, I don't think. I think we just all want to forget about that one. And even then, while we're on the topic of shit, like we not all the adaptations of Resident Evil are good either. Like even the fucking animated ones are kind of schlocky. Let's be honest here. There's some good ones, but most of them are kind of schlocky. And even to that extent, for Resident Evil fans, because we talk about the fans and stuff like that. And I'm here to tell you, Carlos, as somebody who has observed the quote unquote online fan base of Resident Evil, and I've seen it firsthand, most of these people don't play the games. They don't play these games anyway, and they complain about the shit. They don't play them, but they love to complain about it because all they do is read a wiki at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you play them, I can understand why you're mad.
Sadly, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like fandoms, okay. I don't think you should be complaining about something if you haven't experienced it yourself, in my opinion.
No.
But yeah, it's like I don't think the fans should really care about this. Even in our own Capcom thing, they don't even respect the lore sometimes. Like look at the animated movies. They don't respect the lore. Sometimes these characters are wildly different from who they are. And I guess that's just an interpretation, and it shouldn't matter until if they took stuff from this movie and put it in the game and shit on the lore, then I would be pissed. I was like, okay, now you're pissing me off. But like, if it's just its own thing, we can watch it, take a look at it.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the snow thing. I think it's kind of weird that the game takes place in October, but we have snow. But hey, you know what? Fuck it. It ain't gonna kill my vibe. At least not yet. Until we see an actual like trailer, then that pisses me off. Then we'll see. But right now,
yeah, I'm interested.
I'm into it. I'll check it out. I'm gonna go to the theater and watch this.
Yeah, and I understand one of the cool things too is like early. I think, especially with Zach Cregger mentioning that he's nervous about this film coming out, which is funny because he's like filmed the whole goddamn thing, it's edited and everything. He's like, I'm still nervous about it coming out, which is I think it's good to hear, especially when you're a fan of a series like this. The early test screenings, I know people have said it's all gas, no brakes. So It's like once it starts kicking off, it does not let off the gas. It's like beat after beat after beat, crazy shit after crazy shit after crazy shit. Which the only thing that worries me thinking about that would be what the final, the finale of this film is going to be. Because for us, again, we're used to Victor turning into something gigantic at the Resident Evil Requiem, like this version of a nemesis, or fighting a nemesis, or fighting, Mr. X, or the giant mutated liquor at the end, or Birkin, anything like that, right? What is this going to be, especially if it takes place during Resident Evil 2? Like, what would, and that's the one thing that worries me. And I joked about the, Halo Reach ending, and like looking over and there's Master Chief like in this pod. I'm worried.
Yeah.
Like if he gets out of the situation, which I also hope so, I think that you lose a little bit of not credibility, but you lose the heart of what a Resident Evil movie is, like, because it is about survival, ultimately at the end of the day. And most horror
has to end with an RPG too, by the way. Has to end with the guy shooting a monster with an RPG.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is do we see somebody with a middle part on the side? As like a tyrant is just there, and that's like he's about to get killed by a tyrant and then just get taken out. Like he had no hand in it. Like I don't know if that's how we introduce somebody. Like I don't know. Like that's still my only worry. Like I wonder how this specific finale is gonna, because it's good if it's all gas no brakes and it keeps building. What is gonna be the thing he fights at the end, or what is the thing he's gonna come up against at the end? That's what interests me. The other thing too, I think one of the things that could break it, I think I'm with you. I don't know if I necessarily need to see a nemesis. The Cregger said that this giant fat guy in the sewers is almost like his version of a nemesis. Like not necessarily the nemesis or like, Birkin or anything like that, but there's like this is his big evil thing. So is that it? Like is that the thing that we're gonna see he'll come across a couple times as it mutates throughout the film? Like when you have Birkin or Nemesis or anything like that? Like, is this going to be his Birkin, his nemesis, basically for his film? And if so, like, then I'm cool with that. But like, that's what he's saying. Like, this is his big bad, his big like statuesque like thing that he fights, like that we do in the games. Like, so is that monster going to reoccur? And if so, that's cool. I'm cool with like an original monster that he fights, that's only for him and like he overcomes. But I do kind of want to see a liquor. I'm not gonna lie, especially in Resident Evil 2. It is like the most iconic. Other than the zombies and Mr. X, I think a liquor's up there.
Yeah, I think the monsters should be like present, like the ones
maybe a hunter. Yeah, maybe a hunter would be cool.
The whitest monsters, like, whitest... you know what I mean? I think in in that shot where he's running in like what looks like the start of the city, there's things running on the rooftops, and I hope that's not zombies running. I hope those are liquors running, like just like galloping.
That would be cool
along the rooftops. You know what I mean? Because he's making a lot of noise. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
They're just right, they would be the ones that kind of just jump down and like they would do that. You know what I mean?
They do that in the games. Yeah, they like put their body on the line, then twist around, and then I think that scene's gonna be. I think it's funny because there's certain scenes when you see like in a horror movie, you're like, oh, or any film, right? You're like, oh, why did they show that in the trailer? I was like, you show it here. There's probably going to be in the full trailer. I think when we get in the film, it's still going to hit. Like that scene of him running as like things are falling near him and stuff. He's like trying to dodge it. I think it's still going to be really good. The extended sequence of that. Yeah. So that's our thoughts on Resident Evil. Zach Cregger's Thing is movie coming out September 18th. Again, this is just a teaser, and it's so much to chew on already, which is really cool. And it's so funny you mentioned the Sam Raimi thing, because I literally watched a documentary last week about George Romero's lost version of Resident Evil that he was supposed to film after he did the commercial in Japan. And it's a great documentary if you ever have a chance. It's on Tubi. It's about an hour and a half. It's a really good documentary about the lost Resident Evil film. You can read the script if you go to, or you can check out some of the script if you go to like the George Romero Museum in University of Pittsburgh. Let's before we sign off and tell everyone where to find us and all. Again, this is the checkpoint. This is a brand new show, Point of Progress. Really happy about that. We got DC graduates going to be coming back soon. I'm going to film my first 2 episodes of Control and then continue to play Control now that I have this new setup.
Oh yeah.
So because it's been months and I forgot what happened in the beginning already, so I should do that. So it's not a loop. We'll be coming back with season 3. We Frank, every once in a while you do a look back. Everyone's not putting pressure on you, but I mean, we're talking about Resident Evil. We can kind of talk about it now.
I think so.
Yeah,
we can.
We have Evil in Progress coming out at some point. Very soon.
At some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's good because it's still Requiem. We both beat the shit out of it. You platinumed it basically on Steam within a weekend. Which is amazing.
Yeah, I just played the shit out of it, dude.
Yeah, I'm on my third playthrough. I'm having a great time with it. Every time I play it, like it's just comfort food at this point. It's a great game. But it is the 30th anniversary. We have a film coming out during the 30th anniversary. We have Resident Evil 9 that just released. So yeah, we think, hey, it's a good time. Let's do our playthrough series. So yeah, Evil in Progress will be coming soon to Point of Progress. You can check out our socials, our Patreon, as I mentioned. You can check that out. Again, no paid thing right now. It's just, hey, it's like a community board where we're going to tell you guys what's up when we want to talk about random shit on there as well. That's not maybe, hey, we can't film a checkpoint, but I want to rant about, PlayStation's DRM that got announced this week, so, and I don't have 30 minutes to get on camera, but I have 30 minutes where I could type this angry rant. So that's what that's for right now. Down the line, if it's money, who knows? We'll let you know ahead of time, because the economy is suck. But 5 years, man.
5 years, dude.
And this is the first
holy shit
thing, piece of PiP to come out, since the 5-year mark. So, I mean, as a fan, I'm so grateful for Point of Progress, and now to be part of it, I'm especially grateful. Any closing thoughts on just PiP 5 years?
It's been a ride, man. It's been a ride. Content will be coming. I think we just finished our Game of the Year things. I feel like I made up for not doing another look back. I think I explained why I didn't do another look back because I started it, I got halfway through, and then with my hard drive with all my footage died.
That's right.
Yeah. So I have it under my. One of these days I'll do the. They have a thing that you do where you can swap the. If I could ever find a donor board, I'll see if I can swap it and see if I can get that footage back. And I get that footage back, I'll finish it. But I even showed you shit from the Evil Within one that I was doing. I still have the playthroughs and everything like that, but I don't have any of the script. I don't have the audio. I don't have most of the videos were already cut up and ready to go. I don't have any of that stuff anymore. So I still have a playthrough Evil Within that I can do with stuff, but it's not it's not enough. It's not content that I would use in a video. It's just shit that I just it was a speed run that I did on YouTube, which you can check out on my YouTube. Or I don't even know where I posted it, but I did a quick in the dead run of Evil Within where you complete it under, I think it's under 4 hours or something like that.
Jeez.
And complete just that's the only bit of footage I have for Evil Within anymore. And if you look at my profile and see how much I played Evil Within for that fucking video, you'd see that I 100%ed it. And I painstakingly 100%ed that game. So I did a lot of shit, and I do not want to do most of that stuff again. So that's why I haven't done anything. But
I don't blame you.
if you check our games of the year video, you will notice that one of them is over 30 minutes long this time. So hopefully that'll make up for our how long we've been gone. But I do want to do more videos. I definitely do. It's just it's been tough right now, man. It's been tough, and I explained that in the games of the year video. So if you care about our viewers, go check those out when they come out.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. Yeah, as this is posting, I'll give some time frame, like at least a little bit of a break if you're watching this as soon as it posts. There's a montage video which is like I made our little opening and closing montage, so I just posted that. That's your first little piece of game of the year. I'm really happy about how that turned out. A little like
it was really good.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. Yeah, I like how it transitioned in mine too. Especially where I had like my audio transitioned right at like I think mouth washing.
Oh, like, perfect. Yes. Yeah, it's one of those things where like you always hear people talk about it, especially when they're editing. It's like it was like I think 1 a.m. I had a couple beers and everything just like synced. Like it just it finally came together and I was like, oh, I got this. The rare times where I'm like, oh no, I got it. I'm good.
Yeah, I know. I totally understand that, man. That's the only reason I got through these last like 3 games of the year video is like I'd have an idea and I'd be like, oh, let me do that idea, and I'm like, oh, that was kind of cool. I actually went really good, and then you just keep going. You just gotta keep that momentum going, because once you lose that momentum, you're stuck on the same project for like a week or 2 or even a month.
It's insane. Yeah. And that's another thing too why I wanted to do like the checkpoint, because like it is one of those things where you guys did 100 episodes basically every week. I think there was like not even little breaks in between, and it was like a burnout, right, for you guys.
Oh yeah, no. Getting together every Friday with all these different time zones, and then getting there on time, and then waiting for everybody to join in and stuff like that. It definitely, I could see why it burned everybody out so quick. It burned me out really fast because I was like trying to juggle work and also get the checkpoint done. Like, hey, I need to find these news. I would literally sit at work and just like go through the news cycle and be like, okay, let's talk about this, let's talk about that, and then just like having find interesting things to talk about. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to get like too political in the scene where we like piss people off or say something that'll like be too crazy, but also still talk about relevant things that were like very, very big in gaming itself. You know what I mean? And it's very hard to do that. It's still very hard to do that because nobody really has an idea of like what they really want in gaming right now, and I think that's the biggest problem at the moment.
Yeah, and I knew as a fan watching you guys before joining was like one of my favorite segments was the checkpoint where you guys would just check in. Hey, what are you playing? What are you watching? What are you doing this? And sometimes, again, I knew I could see it and you guys were open and honest about it. Like you guys would struggle, be like, I don't know, I don't really have anything this week or anything like that. And that's fine. And I think that's why I wanted to adapt that concept to this, where we have something to talk about. We both love Resident Evil. We have Evil in Progress that we're going to start, soon, film and release to you guys as we play through the Resident Evil series in chronological order, and like because we love Resident Evil, I'm like, wait, the teaser just came out. I have free time tonight. Hey man, you got free time? Perfect. All right, let's do this. Let's sit down. Let's talk about this bullshit for like an hour. And not everything needs to be an hour. If Sly wants to get on here and talk for 25 minutes of why, the Seattle Kraken is the best NHL team, that's what this is. We've built up an audience and
let's check in
where we know, we're checking in with you. We're telling you what we love, what we want to talk about. Yeah, if we want to do an hour and a half, you and me, where we're talking about Ashra, I do not know her last name because she just took over for CEO of like the Xbox brand. But like if we want to talk about Ashra and how she's doing so far in her first couple months, or what our worries and concerns are, let's do that. Which I do actually want to do that down the line because major news.
I did have some opinions about that last time, if I remember correctly, because she was very like hard AI very early on, just like we need to leverage more AI stuff in that. I don't know if I agree with that, but
yeah, so there's concerns and stuff like that, but that's what this is going to be. Like if Fee wants to get on and talk about her monster smut, that's what this is for. Maybe Tara can get on and they could talk about that. Like that's what we're so collaborative in Point of Progress, and I just wanted to get back to that feeling. So this was like a moment in my head. I'm like, I feel like I want to talk about something, but like it's so much to get 4 people and all these different time zones, like you mentioned. It's a lot, but like, hey, If I want to talk about something by myself for 20 minutes, you're going to see a checkpoint. If we want to talk about Resident Evil for an hour, you're going to see a checkpoint. If the next trailer comes out and, I don't have time to react to it, but you want to react to it and talk about it, that's what the checkpoint's for. That's what this is, especially with real people jobs that we all have now. Shit's difficult. We don't get paid to do this. I would love to get paid to do this. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. That'd be great. If I could make $475 every month from PiP, man, I would make so much content. You wouldn't believe. I'd show you my feet for $475 a month.
I think for $20 in a Wawa hoagie, I might show you my feet. That's that's what we're talking about in this economy, man. There's a couple tips in there. Exactly. But yeah, so I'm glad everyone who is watching, thank you for joining us. Thank you for waiting while we, reorganize everything. Check out all the cool logos that Fee made. She did an incredible job with the new logos and the color schemes and everything that we discussed. Like we all talked about colors, and then she just we're like, this is what we're thinking. She's like, all right, hold on. And then she just made magic like she always does.
Yeah.
So
she's great. She's amazing.
Thank you, Harv. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Sly. Thank you, fans. Point of Progress, 5 years. We did it. We're doing good. We're still doing the thing. We just took a break.
We're still alive. Yeah. We took a very extended vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of the summer, we took a whole winter, fall. We're doing summer semesters. That's what we're doing this year. We took a summer off. But yeah. Frank, where can people find you before we sign off?
You can find me here at PiP. Like I said earlier, check out our Games of the Year video. I think everyone did a really good job. I watched all of them. They're all really good. I'm very excited for that. Check me out at TikTok at the Frank GV, where I post my freak nasty clips. I haven't posted. Actually, no, I posted a few. I think since the last time. I don't post a lot of stuff. I have so much different clips and stuff like that. I just don't know what to do with them. I have terabytes of video game footage that I just I just gotta sit through one day and just figure out what to do with it. But if I do find anything to do with those clips, you will find them on TikTok at the Frank GV and on YouTube at the Frank GV on there too. I post shorts on there every now and again, usually. And if you see a video on there, 90% of the time it's just I did a Metal Gear Solid Big Boss run, or I did a Max Payne, The Shadows Rush Me run. Like I said earlier, an Evil Within speed run. Those usually get posted over there instead of PiP. But if you are interested in me posting stuff like that on PiP, I totally would. I posted a Metal Gear Solid. Actually, no, I did post content last year. I forgot. Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta crocodile run. I big bossed or foxhounded Metal Gear Solid Delta in just a crocodile suit. So if you're interested in seeing, dude,
that's so great.
I can't wait to the Games of the Year video because I use footage from that in that, and I can't wait for people to be like, why the fuck is you just wearing a crocodile suit?
I was dying when I was watching the video the other day. I was watching it. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he did that. This is amazing. Man.
But yeah, no, check that out. If you, like I said, if you want to see more content like that, just let us know. I got a bunch of full game playthroughs, bro. But the one thing I do want to do, and I've been kind of floating in the head, is more streams. I definitely want to do some more PiP streams. Maybe just a full game or something like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Because I've been doing a lot of achievement runs, and Carlos will know this. Resident Evil. I was complete Resident Evil in 2 hours and 30 minutes, bro. I was going through that game like that.
Dude, so, I was like, what? It came to that Monday. You're like, hey, I'm done. You guys can play now. I was like, I don't think I'm even a quarter of the way through.
Oh, yeah. Requiem. Yeah. Requiem. Hey, yeah. No, I got all the achievements, guys. You guys are good. Yeah, that one, that one was an easier one because you can really kind of plot your achievements that way. Whereas Resident Evil 1 is hey, you can only really do this in one playthrough, and you have to play it again and again and again and again and again. So yeah. Well, you'll see that. I'll explain a lot of that in our Evil in Progress stuff. But yeah, you can find me all over there. That's the only places you can find me. Don't look at me on Instagram because I'm not really there.
It's just for us to send funny memes to each other during the day.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, it's really all it is. Yeah, for me, you can find me here, Point of Progress. As always, again, all the new stuff's here. Thank you, Fee. DC Graduates should be coming back soon. it's not a loop. It's Control. Should be coming back, or should be starting soon. I'm gonna restart that, start refilming that, and all that. Checkpoint again. This is not a every week thing. It might be for a while. It might not be for a while. You never know. But when we have something to talk about, you're gonna see it here. And check out patreon.com/pointofprogress for just our community notes and things like that when we kind of tell you what's going on at PiP and what our thought processes or whatever. That's really about it. Yeah, this is like a soft launch for like season. I would say season 5, year 5 for PiP, but it's a long time coming. It's like something we just needed to just start doing again.
It's like really it's year 4, but it's actually year 5. It's like Final Fantasy in Japan. You know what I mean? Like when it moved over to the States, it's like it's Final Fantasy 3, but really it's Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what this is. But yeah, I'm so glad we can talk about this. I'm so glad for everyone watching this and sharing it and do all that lovely stuff out there. Until next time, progress has been made.